Let's set the scene. It's quiet. I mean, almost too quiet, right? You're standing in your kitchen in the middle of the night, and literally the only light in the room is that harsh, cold glow coming from your phone screen.
It's 11:47 p.m. You open up your banking app, and instantly your stomach just tightens into a knot. And it's not because you're fundamentally bad with money either. It's the sheer quiet panic of the unknown. The screen finally loads. $340, and there are exactly 9 days left until your next paycheck. That dread just washes right over you, doesn't it? Because right now you have absolutely no idea where that money's even supposed to go for the next week and a half. It's just this awful feeling of being completely adrift.
Well, we're going to completely flip that script today. In this explainer, we're building a 4-account system. We'll walk through the holding account, dive into the psychology of wealth, set up the shield account, power up the engine account, and finally unlock the freedom account.
So here is my absolute promise to you. We are going to set up the exact blueprint that lets your money organize itself the absolute second it hits your bank. No tedious budgeting apps, no complicated spreadsheets, and literally zero willpower required. But okay, before we build that system, we've got to plug a massive leak. We all know about inflation, right? That typical 3% invisible thief, but it is so incredibly easy to forget that if your extra cash is just sitting around in a normal checking account, you aren't just in a neutral position, you are actively losing money every single day. The number on the screen might look the same, but its actual buying power is quietly draining away. All right, let's build this automated system from the ground up to actually protect you. We're starting with account 1. I like to call this the holding account. This is basically just your regular, everyday checking account.
Now, this requires a massive mindset shift. Ready? This account is not where your money lives. Think of it like a hallway. Money passes through it and keeps moving. Most people make the huge mistake of treating their checking account like a comfortable bedroom. They let their money get nice and cozy in there. Paycheck lands and everything just stays. Bills get paid whenever, savings happens whenever, and let's be real, we all know whenever usually means never. But people who actually build wealth do something entirely different. The very second their paycheck lands, a background automation fires. Before they can even think about spending a dime, the money moves out into accounts that actually work for them. They keep just enough behind in that hallway to cover rent, bills, maybe a tiny buffer. Everything else is already gone, doing its job before temptation even has a chance to knock on the door.
Which brings us to the next part of our system, the psychology of wealth, and understanding the invisible system running in the background of our lives.
I personally know people earning $200,000 a year who are literally one missed paycheck away from a total panic attack. And on the flip side, I know people earning $60,000 who are quietly building real lasting wealth. It all comes down to this giant societal illusion we have, treating the words rich and wealthy like they mean the exact same thing. They definitely don't. Rich is visible. It's the shiny car, the luxury apartment, the perfectly curated vacation photos on social media. Rich is simply what you can afford to buy right now. Wealthy, on the other hand, is completely invisible. It's the money you didn't spend. It's the investment account nobody else sees, quietly compounding in the background. You can absolutely be rich and still be one bad month away from total disaster. And you can be wealthy while driving a 10-year-old car that literally nobody looks twice at.
So the absolutely crucial point here is understanding this trap. Almost every spending decision you make falls into one of two buckets. Bucket 1 is, this makes my actual life better. Bucket 2 is, I want other people to think something about me. And let me tell you, that second bucket, it's a notoriously unwinnable, phenomenally expensive game to play. There is always going to be a bigger house, a newer car, or a nicer vacation than yours. The moment you start playing that game, the finish line just keeps moving further away every time you get close to it. Your sense of falling behind actually has almost nothing to do with your real bank balance. It's just the gap between what you have and what you expect to have. If you shrink that expectation gap, you'll feel wealthy at almost any income level. But if you let it grow, you can make $500,000 a year and still feel completely broke. Okay, so with that mindset in place, let's move to our next layer of defense. Account 2 is the shield account. Practically speaking, this is just a high-yield savings account, and it is exactly where your emergency fund lives.
And here is the exact target number that most people get entirely wrong. Your emergency fund does not need to be some terrifying, totally unattainable six-figure amount. You simply take your core monthly expenses, so that's rent, food, bills, the whole shebang, and multiply that by 3 for a bare minimum safety net, or by 6 if you want a little extra breathing room. That's your target, 3 to 6 months, and absolutely not a penny more. Also, the account type matters way more than people think here. You get the exact same safety and the same easy access to your cash as a normal checking account, but you get a completely different, much higher return simply because of the type of account it's sitting in. So here's how the automation actually works in the background. Step 1. As soon as your paycheck clears that holding account hallway we talked about, Step 2 triggers. A set percentage, and hey, this can be even just 5 or 10% to start, moves straight into the Shield account completely automatically before you even see it. You're building financial safety without ever having to actively decide to do it month after month. And Step 3? Well, the moment you hit that 3 to 6 month target number, you just stop. This account has one job. Once it's fully funded, it's done, and the next account in our system takes over.
Which brings us to account 3. This is the engine account, your absolute powerhouse system for retirement investing.
This is where the real magic happens and compounding time completely takes over. Just picture two people for a second. The first one starts investing $200 a month at age 22. The second person starts investing the exact same $200 a month, but they just wait 10 years and start at age 32. By the time they both hit 65, assuming the exact same average market return, the early starter doesn't just end up with double the money. No way. They can end up with 2, sometimes close to 3 times as much money, all from the exact same monthly contribution. That massive gap isn't from working harder, it isn't from picking better, riskier stock investments, it is purely time. It's your money making money and then that new money making even more money.
But please listen to me carefully here, because there is a super common mistake that will quietly erase all that compound growth. People open the account, they automate the cash, and then they just stop. Listen, depositing money into a retirement account is absolutely not the same thing as investing it. If that cash just sits there uninvested, it earns almost nothing. It honestly doesn't matter how disciplined you were about putting the money in. You have to actually direct that cash into something, like an index fund, a target date fund, basically whatever fits your plan, or the whole engine simply never turns on.
Finally, we arrive at account 4, the Freedom account. This is exactly where you buy your life options. Once your retirement contributions are totally maxed out, your overflow hits a regular taxable brokerage account. Now, there is no special tax treatment here at all. It's just pure long-term investing. This is the money that eventually buys you real-life options. Things like changing careers, taking a whole year off, starting a business, or even retiring early. And the strategy to get there is almost boringly simple. Broad market index funds, automated monthly contributions, and patience. We aren't trying to pick the next big stock here. We definitely aren't trying to time the market perfectly. You are just staying in it, through the really good years and the incredibly ugly ones. Because historically, those ugly years have always eventually been followed by recoveries. The investors who bought actual freedom, they were the ones who just kept buying through the panic and the downturns. They're the ones who come out way ahead decades later.
And here's the truly beautiful part of all this. Once this 4-account system is up and running, you get to stop managing money and start actually living your life. You're no longer checking 5 different banking apps a day. You're not white-knuckling every single purchase you make at the grocery store. Your paycheck lands, it splits itself into 4 directions completely automatically. And months later, you check in and you're just further ahead. Not because you got lucky, not because you make some extraordinary income, but because you built a system that works tirelessly for you, even on the days you don't feel like thinking about money at all. That peace of mind? That is what real financial independence actually feels like.
So let's lock this in one last time. Here are the 4 pillars of automated wealth. First, a holding account that acts as a hallway, not a home. Second, a shield account that completely protects you from 3 to 6 months of bad luck. Third, engine accounts that harness the immense power of compounding time. And finally, a freedom account that eventually buys your ultimate independence. Set up and automate all 4 of these, and you have successfully removed the one variable that breaks literally every single budget out there: you.
But I have to leave you with this one last thought. Knowing this brilliant system means absolutely nothing if you don't know the one specific number that tells you exactly when you can actually afford to stop working. And here is the terrifying truth about that. Almost everyone calculates their retirement number wrong, and they usually miss the mark by hundreds of thousands of dollars. Do you know yours?